Now on 4 News Now at 6, health officials in North Idaho are warning people about the dangers of what some call gas station heroin. Why they say the over-the-counter substance is dangerous, while smoke shop owners say kratom is misunderstood.
This rain will be turning to snow across the region in spots tonight. I'll show you how much snow you can expect where you live in the First Alert forecast.
And Spokane County's first responders are sharpening their response to active shooter emergencies. How this hands-on training could mean faster action and safer outcomes for your family. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
It's getting thrown around in those terms as like some kind of new designer drug or whatever that they're saying it is on there.
A new warning is being issued on the widely available supplement kratom, which also goes by herbal speedball or gas station heroin. Smoke shops selling kratom aren't happy about it. The latest warning comes from Idaho's Panhandle Health District.
They say the drug is highly addictive, has overdose potential, and it's already caused deaths in North Idaho. Angela Hara looked into how kratom is being used and if you should be concerned.
Tonight, new warnings over kratom. It comes from a native tree in Southeast Asia, and the DEA classifies it as a drug. Products containing it are not regulated by the FDA, but are sold across the region. Doctors say higher doses have effects similar to opioids, and if you consume too much of it, it can lead to death. The drug is sold in the form of liquids, powders, or pills. Health officials say kratom is a growing problem in the North Idaho area, but smoke shops tell me that it would be extremely hard to overdose on the drug.
The misconception right now is coming from 7-OH or 7-hydroxy, which they throw under the kratom umbrella, but kratom naturally doesn't ever have that much 7-hydroxy in it.
Although the smoke shop does acknowledge the dangers of kratom, they share that the drug is often used as a pain reliever for their clients.
Most of the time it's people that have experienced a really bad injury, that they're on a daily basis feeling like a pain that is just draining of their energy.
But Idaho's Panhandle's medical director wrote in an alert today that kratom is dangerous and has even led to overdose deaths in North Idaho. We asked how many have died and are still waiting for a response. And tonight in Spokane, the city council is discussing banning kratom at their meeting. Washington legislators have also taken up the issue, debating on whether it should be prohibited or heavily taxed. Angela Hara, 4 News Now.
Well, healthcare workers at MultiCare's emergency department now have a new way to treat patients with opioid withdrawal symptoms.
The hospital is part of a pilot program connecting those struggling with addiction with long-term solutions. Mary Sheridan shares more about this treatment.
The Deaconess ER has a new tool in their tool belt.
It's a tiny little needle. It goes into their abdomen.
Long-acting injectable buprenorphine. It's a shot that can relieve the symptoms that come with opioid withdrawal for days at a time.
It protects them from overdose. They don't have cravings. They don't experience withdrawal. Kind of all of the things that allow their brain to quiet down a little bit.
The drug is usually used in an outpatient setting, taken as a tablet or film that dissolves under your tongue. But now, the emergency department at Deaconess says it's the only hospital in Eastern Washington to offer the injectable that gives long-term relief. It's part of a pilot program they joined earlier this month. Nurse care manager Sarah Welty is happy they can use it in the ER.
It's hard when you work in medicine to see the same people over and over and over again.
She estimates 1 in 8 people who come into the ER are struggling with substance abuse disorders. The shot helps patients avoid relapsing right after treatment.
This shot of buprenorphine will alleviate a patient's withdrawal symptoms for about a week. For their next stage of treatment, they'll be referred to one of their community partners.
Partners like Bloom Psychiatry. Owner and nurse practitioner Kayla Cross says the long-acting medication simplifies the road to recovery for many people.
You don't have to remember to be able to pick up your medications and keep track of them and have them with you to take them every day. Just one shot a month or a week, and then they're set.
Currently, Spokane County is averaging about 150 overdoses a month. Welty hopes these medications, like buprenorphine, will help prevent future ones.
Some of those patients are saying this is a life changer for them.
MultiCare will evaluate the success of this year-long pilot program in 2027. Reporting in Spokane, Mary Sheridan, 4 News Now.
Well, many of you have probably seen some rain or potentially some snow tonight.
That's right. And as it turns to snow, it could lead to a slick drive to the bus stop tomorrow morning. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker now to see where you can expect, or how much you can expect where you live.
Well, the heavier accumulations will be south of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Right now, we're just looking at rain in downtown Spokane, but that may not be the case for longer. It is a cold rain. Zoomed in on Doppler radar, we're seeing that wet weather. The green is rain, the blue over Micah Peak, Mount Spokane, that is falling as snow, and certainly snow up in the higher terrain of the central panhandle. But we are fairly close to making that transition over to snow. Here's a broader view on our radar. Little bit of a back edge here, but that is not going to sink much further to the south. Spokane and Coeur d'Alene right on the edge of dry weather to the north and what is going to be a lot wetter weather down on the Palouse, and that is where we're going to see our heavier snowfall totals through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. Down in Moscow and Pullman, in the neighborhood of 1.5 inches, perhaps even a little more on the Moscow side of the border. St. Mary's and Kellogg also getting some measurable snow with lesser amounts further to the north, and finally mostly dry conditions in the Northeast mountains. We do have a winter weather advisory, goes until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for the Idaho Palouse, 1 to 4 inches possible. That 4 inches primarily in the higher terrain in Latah County. As we get into the central panhandle, 1 to 5 inches of snow below 4,000 feet, up to 9 inches of snow above 4,000 feet. Your Tuesday planner will get a break from the wet weather in the morning, and then we bring back the chance, mostly rain, possibly some snow mixing in. A high of 40, 42 is our average high. I will be back in a few minutes with your 7-day forecast. Kirsten.
See you then, Chris. Thank you. Democratic lawmakers in Olympia have released their proposal to balance the state's budget. It includes dipping into the state's rainy day fund and cutting $800 million for child care programs for low-income families. In the last few hours, many school officials told lawmakers these cuts will hurt students.
The $39 million cut to transition to kindergarten undermines one of our most effective early learning strategies.
State funding has not kept pace with school district costs, requiring many districts to cut programs and staff in order to pay for basic operating costs.
State Superintendent Chris Reykdal has also come out against the budget, writing in part, quote, "I can only hope that the House, the Senate, and the governor will rethink their cuts to education and make definitive commitments in the short and long term to K-12 education, higher education, and early learning." Both the House and Senate proposals would also pull more than $700 million from savings while increasing overall spending, largely due to rising lawsuit payouts and demand for services. To see how the state ended up with a multi-billion-dollar deficit, look for this story on KXLY.com.
The city of Coeur d'Alene has narrowed down its list of candidates to be the city's new fire chief to 3. Current Fire Chief Thomas Greif will be retiring later this year following more than 30 years of public service. Coeur d'Alene Fire Captain Jake Beaker is one of the candidates to replace him. He began his career in Coeur d'Alene and has more than 23 years of experience. John Fugit has 25 years of experience and is currently serving as Deputy Chief in Fullerton, California. And Kristen Maurer also has 25 years of experience and recently served as the Fire Chief for Clark County Fire District 6 in Washington.
Well, still ahead, Mark Peterson and the Extreme team are back.
Yeah, coming up, we'll show you their latest project that will help 2 local organizations better serve veterans and their families. And violence erupts in Mexico after authorities kill a top cartel leader, leaving streets in flames and tourists stranded. We'll show you the chaos hitting popular vacation spots like Puerto Vallarta.
And Spokane City Council is proposing changes to make meetings more accessible, including moving public comment to the beginning, so everyone has a chance to speak. How these changes could affect your voice at City Hall. Next on 4 News Now.
Plan your day with Matt Gray, only on Good Morning Northwest.
4 News Now is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Extreme team.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
Truck Month only happens once a year.
So it's gotta be big.
Like available Pro Power on board big.
Protect it with the Ford Security Package big. Biggest deals of the year big.
There's only one Ford Truck Month.
Deal's so good, we need a bigger door big.
Oh, yeah.
And now get 0% APR for 60 months with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days. Plus $1,000 truck month cash on select Ford vehicles.
What kind of a book is it?
It's a love story.
The Notebook is now a romantic Broadway musical for the ages, full of butterfly-inducing highs.
Why didn't you write to me?
I wrote you a letter every day for a year.
Based on the best-selling novel that inspired the iconic film. Fall in love again at The Notebook.
March 17th through the 22nd at the First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Pump up the volume.
Go ahead. Crank the volume. We got you. USPS has increased daily package processing capacity by 46% in the past 5 years. And with USPS Ground Advantage, your packages stay in our secure network, dock to door, nationwide. For full visibility, near real-time tracking, affordable pricing, for peace of mind. USPS Ground Advantage.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on Sierra 1500 models.
ShopDaveSmith.com.
The Spokane City Council is proposing several changes to the way its meetings work, including how people can give public comments.
Some council members say a proposal would make meetings more accessible because half of the testimony it hears right now comes from just 21 people. Derek Strom is live at City Hall where tonight's council meeting is underway.
Derek, Kirsten, right now people are able to give 2 to 3 minutes of public comment for each agenda item at a council meeting, but this new proposed rule would make sure that everyone would get to speak at the beginning of meetings. Members of the Spokane City Council believe their meetings are not accessible enough to the public, and they're proposing several changes to address that. One of the biggest proposed changes is a resolution that would move public comment to the beginning of each meeting instead of during each agenda item.
4% of the people, 21 people, accounted for 50% of all testimony we heard. And so that means if someone's coming to testify on the first time ever to a city council meeting, they might have to wait for someone to testify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a meeting.
If the resolution is passed, each person wanting to give public comment would have a chance to talk once before anyone is allowed to give multiple testimonies.
It just shifts the order and says all testimony is going to be at the beginning, so it's predictable, and everyone's going to testify at least one time before someone speaks a second time. And that is actually a rule that we follow as council members in famous Robert's Rules of Order.
Some are worried that changes to the rules around public comment could affect people's ability to have their voice heard on multiple issues.
Our current climate, most people's conception of civic engagement is ranting at each other on social media. So I find it's a small miracle that we get the attendance we do, and I'd like to encourage, not curtail, civic engagement.
The council did defer voting on that resolution until next week's meeting, and at its next meeting it will also vote to potentially move its meeting date from Mondays to Wednesdays, and it hopes that will help people stay up to date on the agendas for the city council and what the city council will be voting on. Live in downtown Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Rain will be turning to snow later this evening and is already snowing in spots. I'll show you where and have your 7-day forecast next.
And before we head to break, a reminder that you can watch President Donald Trump's State of the Union address tomorrow right here on 4 News Now.
And because of that, there are a few schedule changes you'll want to know about. 4 News Now at 5 will air as usual, followed by World News Tonight with David Muir. Then live coverage of the State of the Union begins at 6. You can also stream it on your connected TV using the KXLY Plus app. Join us again for 4 News Now Nightside at 11 for a full recap of the president's address.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
Join us for Lives After the Oscars show
On KXLY ABC4.
It's 2026 and Bill's Heating is celebrating the new year with an incredible offer. $26 tune-ups for a limited time. That's a full professional heating system check to keep your furnace running safely, efficiently, and reliably through the heart of winter. Our service trucks are already on the road, and when a Bill's Heating technician pulls into your driveway, you know your comfort is in good hands. So call 208-777-5528 now to schedule your $26 tune-up. Bill's Heating, comfort you can count on.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America is asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all.
Now, well-qualified buyers can get 3.9% financing for 60 months on all 2026 Silverado 2500 HD pickups, plus no monthly payments for 90 days. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
What can we make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana?
Thanks for coming in to talk about Doug Jr.
Of course. Third grade is when I learned Liberty Mutual could save you hundreds by customizing your car insurance.
Why don't you come sit with us?
Oh, a little snug. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Mark Peterson with the 4 News Now Extreme Team. Join us all this week as we take a double project on for the Veterans Community Response and the Washington State Fallen Heroes. Their new neighbors. Extreme Team is brought to you by Horizon Credit.
The road to the Oscars comes through.
Good morning, America.
With Oscar nominee Tiana Taylor right here tomorrow live. And later this week, Michael B. Jordan with Ryan Coogler. Plus, John Hamm and Nate Bargatze. All on
Good Morning America. Winter is slowly winding down in Spokane, and the Numerica Skate Ribbon in Riverfront Park will be closing later this week. If you want one last chance to glide across the ice, you'll need to get out there before Sunday when the rink shuts down for the season.
And seeing all those kids with their little, walkers makes me think it's such a great place to learn. It really is.
Oh, for sure.
And winter feels like it just is barely getting started. What do you mean? It's almost over, and we do have some wintry weather. It's starting to turn over into more of a rain-snow mix. I just stuck my head out the door here in downtown Spokane, and it's not snow, but it's not rain. There's a little bit of texture to those raindrops here at 500 West Boone Avenue, and you can kind of tell by the way they're sticking to the lens. The same is true in Coeur d'Alene. Both the airports, however, still just reporting rain. Temperatures around the region, it is quite a variety. Look at Colville, 43 in Omak with dry conditions. It's 37 in Bonners Ferry. And then we go down to Pullman, where it is 33, actually Moscow and Pullman, where we find the snow. Actually, Colfax, the Palouse, Moscow, Pullman, Troy, all making that transition over to snow. I double checked with the traffic camera there in Moscow, and you can see it is starting to snow there. Nothing sticking to the roads as of yet, but you have a very good chance to see some snow accumulation, and there is a winter weather advisory in effect for the Idaho side of the border on the Palouse until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. 4 things to know about your weather. Rain will turn to snow in most valley locations. Minor accumulations for the most part in the valleys will be drying out midweek. Also in the valleys, not completely, but we'll get some good long spans of dry weather. Our winds picking up on Wednesday and Thursday. Here's a look at some of the forecast snowfall totals in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene metro area through 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. The further south you go, the more likely you're going to see heavier snowfall. An inch in Spangle compared to 1/10 of an inch in Deer Park and 9 Mile at Meade, 2/10 of an inch. On the Idaho side of the border, a little bit more, just over a ½ inch of snow possible, with more further to the south. High temperatures tomorrow will be in the 40s, and so any snow that you do get, especially on sidewalks and parking lots and streets, will be melting. Our high temperature trend a little below average tomorrow, then right about average, give or take, through the rest of the 7-day forecast. This white line right here is our average high. Taking a look at your planning forecast, after tomorrow we are going to be dry, 42 degrees with just a slight chance of precipitation, 45 on Thursday with dry conditions. We will keep the chance of mountain snow going through the entire forecast. 43 on Saturday, 44 degrees on Sunday with overnight lows just below freezing on most days through the 7-day outlook. Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Take a look at this video of burnt cars and smashed windows along the streets of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The beach resort city is a popular vacation spot for families across the inland Northwest. And today, at least 2 flights from Puerto Vallarta to SeaTac were canceled.
Yeah, the violence erupted after Mexican authorities announced they killed one of the country's most powerful cartel leaders. Criminal groups responded by blocking roads and taking over streets, preventing people, including American tourists, from leaving. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest.
Today, a violent raid in Mexico that killed one of the country's most notorious cartel leaders has millions of people on edge. Officials say Sunday's military operation killed multiple cartel members, including the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel known as El Mencho. Mexico's visibly emotional defense minister today said more than 24 members of the military were also killed during the raid. The White House confirms it helped provide intelligence for Mexico, but that no American troops were on the ground. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum emphasizes the priority now is to provide peace and security. Security forces are patrolling in the air and on the streets. On Sunday, criminal groups set up hundreds of roadblocks, setting cars and buildings on fire.
You could see the fear in people's eyes. I mean, they were very, very, very concerned.
The violence reached popular tourist destinations, including Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara, as the U.S. Embassy urged Americans in Mexico to avoid all forms of travel.
We're all just under the shelter in place, told not to go anywhere, lock your doors, stay inside.
Sheinbaum says the roadblocks are now clear.
Puerto Vallarta's airport suspended all operations yesterday, leaving people, including American tourists, stranded. Flights there, including those to and from Guadalajara's airport, have resumed today. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Well, still ahead here on 4 News Now, one local fun run is making national headlines.
We'll show you how you can help it become one of the best races in the country. And trade talks are back on shaky ground after President Trump says he'll restore tariffs the Supreme Court just struck down. How European nations are reacting and what it could mean for your wallet. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Car Wash Plaza.
Yolk's Exclusives. Original recipes crafted in-house every day by people who take fresh seriously and sold exclusively at Yolk's Fresh Markets.
Hey, Chad here from the Easy Home Buyer. If you want to know how easy it is to sell your house fast, just pull out your phone and scan this QR code. It's that simple.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Post Falls ER and Hospital, open 24/7, providing premium emergency department care without the wait. From your child sports injury to urgent ambulance visits, Post Falls ER features low wait times, efficient procedures, and compassionate care. Plus, we provide state-of-the-art imaging, inpatient care, and accept all commercial insurances. Because in an emergency, every second counts and every life matters. Post Falls ER and Hospital, State Line near Cabela's, minutes away, hours faster.
Gold medal markdowns are happening now at George Gee Kia. Go for the gold and score great deals like the 2026 Kia Sorento EX all-wheel drive. Lease for only $399 a month. Or the 2026 Kia Carnival LXS, also just $399 a month. These offers will move at record speed, so sprint in today. Shop George Gee Kia off I-90 in Liberty Lake or shop SpokaneKia.com.
If you've been injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident,
the best time to call an attorney is as soon as possible.
The second best time?
Right now.
Call Russell and Hill.
Call 800-LAW-0842.
Yolks Exclusives. Original recipes crafted in-house every day by people who take fresh seriously and sold exclusively at Yolks Fresh Markets.
At 4 News Now, we're part of this community, sharing your stories, listening to your voice, and delivering the news that matters most to you. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
A penny saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
Well, Mark Peterson and the 4 News Now Extreme team are hard at work this week helping repair the offices of 2 local programs that help veterans and their families. For years, Veterans Community Response and Washington State Fallen Heroes operated out of their homes and off of their cell phones.
Last year, they purchased office space in North Spokane, but a fire in another part of that building left them without power and without a place to serve those who've served our country. Let's check in with Mark now for an update on the repairs and what still needs to be done before Thursday's big reveal.
Now, both of these organizations are side by side. Now, we're on the Fallen Heroes side. This is their own space. This is where the float is parked, where their trailers get parked, and also where Northwest Window and Door Friday put in a pass-through window, not only to open up the office a little bit, but also so they can talk to those who are going to be in here assembling various different things that they do throughout the year when they go into the communities. So getting that window in was great. Now we got to get that wall finished and prepped. We've got to get a lot of preparation in here because we are going to be doing some painting, but really we're going to be building some things for their storage capacity. It's going to be great, but it's going to take a little bit. And that wall behind me, that's going to be repaired and fixed as well. Lots to do, and it's an important job. The mission they do is very important, but we wish it wasn't needed. 382 pictures and banners are here that you've seen in parades throughout the region. They'll continue to do their hard work, again, under one roof. We'll have more updates on the progress we're making here at the Washington State Fallen Heroes office, also VCR next door, through the 4 News Now Extreme team. And for them, I'm Mark Peterson.
All right, well, one of Spokane's most popular road races is making national headlines. The Boulevard Race has been picked by USA Today as one of the contenders for its list of 10 best fun runs. The 4-mile run through downtown Spokane features live DJs, bubbles, tunnels, and other entertainment. Proceeds from the race support cancer patients through the Community Cancer Fund. Other fun runs competing for the top spot include San Francisco's Beta Breakers and the Disney Princess 5K at Walt Disney World. You can find the link to vote for the Boulevard Race inside this story on KXLY.com. All right, a Spokane musician will be in the spotlight tonight in one of the biggest music competitions in the world.
Local artist Vika auditioned for American Idol and got the golden ticket, advancing to Hollywood Week tonight. Vika sat down with 4 News Now today to chat about the experience and a lot more. This was her 3rd time auditioning for Idol, and she explains why she felt 3rd time was the charm.
I think I felt more ready this time. They told me to come back when I felt more like myself, when I had more of my own identity, and
I felt like it was time, so I went for it.
And you can cheer Vika on American Idol as Hollywood Week begins tonight at 8 p.m. on ABC. You can watch the full interview with Rob King there on the free KXLY Plus app for your connected TV.
Best of luck to her. All right, trade tensions spike as President Trump threatens to restore tariffs ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court.
How other nations are pushing back coming up, and Spokane County first responders are training for active shooter situations to keep families safe. We'll show you how they're preparing for faster, more coordinated responses next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Clay Walker stands as a towering figure in country music with electrifying performances. Live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, March 5th. The train is right on time. Grand Funk Railroad still shining on tour. Live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, April 16th. Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features up-and-coming MMA stars battling it out live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, May 14th. Get your tickets now.
Winning is just the beginning.
Kerner Furniture's President's Day sale is here. And that means it's time to save big on everything in the showroom, including La-Z-Boy. Shop reclining sofas like this La-Z-Boy. Sale price $1199.95.
Our huge selection of La-Z-Boy recliners are marked down with sale prices starting at just $299.95.
Find the furniture that complements your home at a price that complements your budget.
Shop local and save big during Kerner Furniture's President's Day sale. Going on now.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions. Home to possibility and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on Sierra 1500 models.
See your local GMC dealer.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Agencies across Spokane County are changing the way they respond to active shooter and mass casualty events.
It's a change that's meant to save more lives, and today Fire District 8 was busy practicing that new response. Madeline Mullins shares what it is and how it will keep you and your family safe.
We have an active shooter against the church.
It's a call that nobody wants to get, but one law enforcement knows they have to prepare for.
We train as we fight, right? So in order for us to respond and do those things, you have to train the exact way we would respond.
And today, that's exactly what Spokane County Fire District 8 did. They responded to an active shooter simulation at a church, practicing the new technique of having firefighters enter the scene at the same time as law enforcement in an effort to get to victims faster.
If we stand outside and wait for law enforcement to completely clear a building, we're going to end up waiting 20 minutes, an hour. So those patients won't have that luxury to survive the event.
For Spokane County Fire District 8, this simulation feels all too familiar. And that's because in 2017, they were the ones that responded to the call when a student opened fire inside Freeman High School.
That day, September 13th, 2017, was it's burned into all of our memories. You never, ever want this to happen in your own agency or any agency.
That day, one student was killed and 3 were seriously injured. It was an event that required a response from law enforcement and firefighters from all over the region. And that's why all of the different agencies in our county are also getting this training.
Having this type of coordination between law enforcement that's trained the same way and we're trained the same way countywide will definitely make these types of events run much smoother, much more efficiently.
The goal is that no matter who is responding to the call and running into an active shooter situation, the training and the mission is the same: to keep everyone safe and get to those who need help as soon as possible. In Spokane County, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Well, we are watching the rain turn to snow in spots tonight.
Yeah. The question is, how much are we going to get? Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker for the answer.
Well, that is going to vary quite a bit, even just right in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, where the further north you go, the more likely you're not going to get much. Meanwhile, south, it's another story. This is the scene right now at Hayden, and we are starting to see a rain-snow mix developing through the region. The roads right now are just wet. However, there are signs of snow happening. Here's a look at our satellite and radar presently. Snow reported down in Moscow and Pullman, up through St. Mary's, and then just starting to mix into snow through the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Our forecast radar shows you that things are a little tricky for the metro area in terms of how much snow we're going to get. There is a winter weather advisory for the Idaho Palouse for 1 to 4 inches of snow. But as we go through the overnight and into tomorrow morning, we see everything turning over to snow. Here's midnight tonight, but we are at the very far northern edge of that snow, and so it's difficult to see. It almost like it knows where I-90 is through Spokane and Kootenai counties. Easy to see we're going to see snow further to the south, but right in the metro area, the totals will be tricky. Regardless of how much snow you might get in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, it is going to melt as we warm up to a high of 40 tomorrow. 42 is our average high. We have some more wet weather coming in late in the day. I will be back with your 7-day forecast. Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Around the Northwest now, a bill moving through the state legislature in Olympia would make it easier for renters to stay cool during extreme heat. The bill already made it out of the House. If it's approved, it would ban landlords from prohibiting tenants from installing portable air conditioning units. Spokane City Council passed a similar law back in 2024. Supporters of the bill say rising temperatures are a public health emergency.
For renters, especially in older buildings or among seniors and people with disabilities, portable cooling devices are often the only realistic way to reduce indoor temperatures. Yet under current law, landlords can prohibit these devices.
According to the National Weather Service, heat is the leading cause of weather-related deaths in the U.S. In 2021, an extreme heat wave killed 17 people in Spokane County. While critics aren't against the idea of allowing tenants to put in their own air conditioning units, their concern is with the overall language of the bill, calling it too vague. The bill is scheduled for a House Executive Committee session tomorrow, where lawmakers could vote on it and advance it to the full House for consideration.
Well, several weeks ago, Leslie Stannard needed some groceries, so she went to the store, grabbed what she wanted, but when she tried to pay with her credit card, it was declined. She says she called her bank to find out why, and it wasn't because she reached her limit. Their files showed she was dead.
Well, I'm very much here, very much alive.
Now she's fighting the system just to bring herself back to life on paper. Watch Hannah Joy's full report tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest.
Really interesting. It's strange. All right, around the nation, one of the U.S.'s biggest trading partners is threatening to reconsider a highly anticipated trade deal as President Trump tries to revive his global tariffs.
The Supreme Court struck down most of the president's tariffs last week, deciding he did not properly impose them. ABC's Christiane Cordero has more.
Today, trade deals with the U.S. are in limbo as President Trump vows to restore the tariffs ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. The European Parliament postponed a vote today on the EU's trade deal with the U.S. after Trump threatened a blanket 15% tariff using another statute. That's up from the 10% tariff he announced after the Supreme Court decision Friday.
We want to have clarity from the United States that they are respecting the deal, because that's the crucial element, that we want to have stability.
The Supreme Court made clear tariffs are considered a tax, which only Congress controls. Without congressional approval, Trump's latest tariff threat can only last 150 days. Administration officials argue the new tariffs provide leverage for trade deals.
It doesn't have the same flexibility that the president had under the previous authority that he was using, but it gives us very durable tools.
A defiant Trump today posted on social media, quote, "Any country that wants to play games with the ridiculous Supreme Court decision will be met with a much higher tariff and worse." Caught in between, American business owners who were forced to adjust to Trump's tariffs months ago and are adapting again.
I wish anything would go through the right channels and through Congress and all the way it's supposed to, but I don't have faith that it's really going to change much. Once a price spike has happened, it kind of sits there.
All the tariff uncertainty has led to stocks lower today. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Democrats will block any attempt to extend Trump's tariffs when they expire in roughly 5 months. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Well, the Gonzaga Bulldogs are back in the AP Top 10.
And after a big win over Pacific, they stay atop the WCC too, Mia.
And that was a much-needed win ahead of this Wednesday's game against Portland. The Zags moved up 2 spots to number 9. When we come back, we'll preview their final home game of regular season. Stick with us.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Extreme Team.
Ready for a refresh? From fabrics to the floor plan, we can pull it all together to create spaces you'll love coming home to. The Tin Roof. It's more than furniture, it's a feeling.
Okay, team, this year when people call the Easy Home Buyer, I want to offer more for their home. We're going to buy the home as is and close in as little as 14 days and give them a check. Let's go.
At Parker Toyota, we've got an SUV for every lifestyle, from the legendary Land Cruiser to the spacious Highlander and the ever-versatile RAV4. Your next adventure starts here.
And with the largest SUV selection in the Northwest, Parker Toyota has what you're looking for on the lot today. With Toyota's world-class reliability and top-tier value, your SUV isn't just ready for the road, it's ready for the long haul.
See our great selection of SUVs at Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
What kind of a book is it?
It's a love story.
The Notebook is now a romantic Broadway musical for the ages, full of butterfly-inducing highs.
Why didn't you write to me?
I wrote you a letter every day for a year.
Based on the best-selling novel that inspired the iconic film. Fall in love again at The Notebook.
March 17th through the 22nd at the First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
I'm Mark Peterson with the 4 News Now Extreme Team. Join us all this week as we take a double project on for the Veterans Community Response and the Washington State Fallen Heroes. Their new neighbors. Extreme Team is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Ready for a refresh? From fabrics to the floor plan, we can pull it all together to create spaces you'll love coming home to. The Tin Roof. It's more than furniture, it's a feeling.
It's Idol Hollywood Week, Music City Takeover.
You ready to rock?
Will your favorite viral sensations survive Idol's biggest elimination?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
American Idol, new tonight on ABC.
What's behind that wall? There's something definitely in there. And the clock is ticking. Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Welcome into sports. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are fresh off a win over Pacific with 1 home game left of regular season. The Bulldogs have moved up in the rankings. After a slow first half start, the Zags pulled off a 9-point win over Pacific. In that game, they had 4 players land in double figures. They now look ahead to host the Portland Pilots. The last time these two went head-to-head was in Oregon, and it ended in the Zags' only loss in WCC play so far. But Gonzaga hasn't lost since, and Graham Ike played a major role in the win over Pacific, his 9th consecutive 20-point game, more than any Zag in the last 20 years. He'll look to carry that momentum into Wednesday's game. Head coach Mark Few spoke about Ike's impact.
You just got to remember, I mean, he's an All-American when he's
down around the paint, but there was a lot of bodies in the paint tonight, a lot of bodies. But literally every time he made an assertive move, we either led to us getting a three or him getting to the free throw line or him scoring. So, but it's hard, guys. It's hard. He's obviously he's the focal point of every scouting report.
9th-ranked Bulldogs will host the Portland Pilots, who come into this game on a 3-game losing streak. Tip-off is in the Kennel at 6 p.m. And for the Gonzaga women's team, they're fresh off of a win over Pacific as well. 4 of their players landed in double figures, and Lauren Whitaker chipped in with 20 points. They look ahead to host their rival, the St. Mary's Gales, and this rivalry runs all the way back to 2000. The Bulldogs currently hold a 10-game win streak over the Gales. Their last matchup was a year ago, but tip-off is in the Kennel, set for 6 p.m. As for the Washington State men's team, they had their last home game of regular season against the St. Mary's Gales and fell 83-67, despite 3 players landing in double figures. They now look ahead to face LMU. The last time these two played each other was in January in Pullman, and the Cougs won by 2 points. Head coach David Riley spoke about the team's mental toughness for the remainder of regular season.
For whatever reason, we made a couple good plays offensively, defensively, and the ball gets tipped around. They got a dunk. We end up running a play where we get the ball zipping around, get a layup, and smoke it, and that takes a lot of mental toughness to be able to withstand that. And it's just we got to learn how to be mentally tougher through another punch. Sometimes they're going to throw 2.
Washington State will be on the road to face LMU this Wednesday at 8 p.m. And speaking of Washington State, the football team just released their spring football practice schedule. And I mean, who doesn't love some spring ball? The Cougs will begin spring practice on Thursday, March 26th, about a month from now. And this will be their first spring under head coach Kirby Moore and 37 newcomers on the roster. There's also 2 open practices and a spring game. And well, guys, hoop season is almost over. Spring ball is right around the corner. And, it's really cool that they're having 2 open practices.
Well, and the one that really stood out is the one at Union Stadium up in North Spokane. That's on March 4th. So that'd be real cool for people around here to be able to check out the Cougs in Spokane.
Yeah, for sure. You don't have to drive as far.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. High temperature today, 43 degrees, which is just about average, but it was a warm start. 27 is our average overnight low. We've got some cooler weather on the way for tomorrow, and that does include snow. I'll tell you all about it after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row has been extended. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last. Plus, get 60 months, no interest. But hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all.
Get 1.9% financing on all 2026 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $6,350 total value on this Silverado. Plus $1,000 trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Out here, no one hands you anything. Every chore, every acre, every paycheck, you've earned it all. So, your finances should work as hard as you do. Ascend Checking from P1FCU can earn you 3.5% APY with no monthly fees, no gimmicks, just rewards for the work that you're already doing. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Did you or someone you know live, work, or enjoy time in Lincoln County, Montana at least 10 years ago? If so, you may have been exposed to harmful Libby amphibole asbestos. 1 in 4 screened have developed an asbestos-related disease. Hope is here. The Center for Asbestos-Related Disease, CARD, in Libby, provides free screenings, care, and resources to those impacted by asbestos exposure. Don't wait. Early detection is key. Get your free asbestos health screening today. Contact the CARD Clinic.
STA has a big role in my life because I don't drive and because I enjoy doing things like reading when I'm on the bus, and so I take the bus everywhere, and it frees up my time and it frees up my mind. For seniors in general, one of the best things they've done is lower the age of eligibility for the senior discount to 60, and that makes it available to a lot more people. I've been riding STA since 1955. STA has freed me up. I love STA.
The President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress has been extended. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend.
Check out the Colorado Queen for only $199.99.
It's 60 months, no interest, and free shipping. But hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
Welcome back. This is what people are seeing in the New England area. Look at this. Wired out conditions, heavy wind, low visibility, and power outages. Over 40 million people are under blizzard warnings, and more than 10,000 flights have been canceled between Sunday and Tuesday, leaving many stranded.
It's in the airport. We don't know what we're going to do.
People in the area are being asked to stay home. Crews are working to get the power back up and running as soon as possible. I feel like a little guilt almost when we see some of these videos since we've had such a mild winter.
If nature is a balancing act, the Northeast has taken all of our snow while we are just barely seeing anything. It's unbelievable.
There's some cows who want to try to make us feel better, I guess, and some firefighters in Maryland who had a special surprise while they were stuck. Take a look.
Where's Kurt at? Come bring the lasso.
Come bring a lasso, he says. While the firefighters were clearing a tree from the road, these 2 cows decided to come help, and it seems like they were really enjoying all of that attention, probably because so many people, stuck inside.
And where did they come from?
Who knows?
This is what I want to know.
I just step over their fence with the snow built up.
Maybe, right?
So, and especially if there was some drifting. But boy, I've nothing compared to that in the forecast. Just a little bit of snow. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. If it is raining at your house now, it will likely turn over to snow. Minor accumulations in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We will be drying out the middle of the week, not completely. Still a car wash ruining sprinkle or flurry through the end of the week. Winds are going to pick up a little bit as well on Wednesday at Thursday and Friday. Our winter weather advisory for the Idaho Palouse, 1 to 4 inches of snow. The higher totals mainly in the more mountainous areas in Latah County. We're looking at 1 to 5 below 4,000 feet in the central panhandle with up to 9 inches in the mountains, and that goes through 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's about the time we're going to begin drying out. Already seeing snow, not a lot of accumulating snow from Colfax, Pullman, and Moscow up through Palouse and heading up towards St. Mary's, and it's trying to turn into snow around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, where there is a back edge, but that's not going to move through much. Let's take a look at our forecast radar, starting off at our current time. The blue is where it's turning over to snow. The green is rain, and we will get a little bit of a break perhaps this evening. Here's 9 o'clock tonight, but there's more wet weather coming as we get into midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and it's all snow through the I-90 corridor overnight and into early morning. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be right on the line in Spokane between dry conditions, essentially, from Deer Park, Meade, and then keeping that chance of snow going through at least the morning commute before we begin drying out around 10 a.m. Snowfall totals in the metro area, little bit of a work in progress. If anything, I think these might be a tad low based on the latest guidance, but less than an inch until you get further to the south, closer to that area where we have the winter weather advisory. If you do get snow at your house, it will melt. I don't think you'll need to shovel, and most of the accumulations will be on the grassy surfaces. Highs in the 40s across the region tomorrow, just a couple of degrees below our average high, which is 42 now. We will be at 42 on Wednesday, and then a little bit above through the rest of the 7-day forecast, with mostly dry conditions down in the valleys, but we do have a chance of snow in the mountains through Friday. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. We are gearing up for spring break season, and if you haven't booked a getaway just yet, there's still time.
Jen Sullivan has tips on how you can still score some hot deals.
Are you tired of the snow and cold weather? It's not too late to book a spring getaway. There are loads of places that still have availability and places that you can find great deals.
Emily Kaufman, known as the Travel Mom, says if you're looking for somewhere warm, all-inclusive resorts are great for families.
They're a great way to stick to a budget, and you get so much value. Your accommodations, your meals.
Looking for something adventurous like skiing? If you book at a Vail Resort, which are located at various ski towns, you can get $100 or more off per lift ticket if you book at least 4 weeks in advance.
That's a savings of 30%.
Kaufman recommends Keystone Resort for families. There's one located right outside of Breckenridge, Colorado. If you don't want to splurge on a long hotel stay, Kaufman says check out Resort Pass. They sell day passes to hotels and spas at more than 2,500 locations in the U.S., Caribbean, Mexico, and parts of South America. When you're planning your trip, check out the community's Convention and Visitors Bureau because they'll often advertise special deals on local activities. Kaufman says being flexible with your travel dates will help keep down the cost, but that can be tricky when you're tied to the school calendar.
Flights are going to be challenging because it's all about supply and demand.
Kaufman suggests checking alternate airports around your destination city because prices can fluctuate.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
All right, before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for your Monday night.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When it comes to your cancer treatments, you have choices.
It's important to explore your options. A second opinion will help you to make a more informed decision about your treatment. Contact Summit Cancer Centers today. One of our cancer specialists will speak to you directly, offering you same-day second opinions and options available for your type of cancer. And second opinions are covered by most insurance companies. Cancer, it's worth a second look. Summit Cancer Centers. Integrative, innovative, inspired.
Okay, I brought you guys all here today because I want the Easy Home Buyer to buy more homes than ever this year, and I need new ideas.
We could blow up a house. That'd be cool.
Or we could just keep reminding people that we pay a high value for their home and we can close quickly in 14 days. And there are no closing costs.
I like it.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Thanks for helping out today, Davis. Hey, how did you convince Gonzaga this was important enough to send you out?
Oh, easy. I just told him the truth.
Okay, which is what?
That there was a customer without heat.
Oh, okay.
And you had no chance of fixing it without my help.
You just hold the flashlight.
Well, yeah. I doubt you could fix this in the dark.
Really?
Call 208-777-5528 now to schedule your $26 tune-up.
Why is a touchless wash best? Touchless doesn't smack and beat your vehicle with rags and raw brushes with the risk of scratches. Instead, we have multiple nozzles that deliver powerful 800 PSI water jets, covering everything from the sides, the roof, and even the undercarriage. Our mixtures remove dirt, grime, and those nasty, nasty street chemicals.
Car Wash Plaza, it's the best in the Northwest.
At 4 News Now, we're part of this community, sharing your stories, listening to your voice, and delivering the news that matters most to you. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Thank you.
I got this.
Thanks. I'm Alex.
I'm Jade.
Book your stay and play today at MrQuaCasinoHotel.com.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, we're following the Spokane City Council meeting taking place right now, where members are expected to speak on changing the rules for public comment, voting on changing the days meetings will be held, and holding a first reading on a potential kratom ban. We'll share the details with you tonight on Nightside starting at 11.
Rain turning to snow tonight with minor accumulations. Temperatures will be down below freezing to start the day tomorrow, so you may run into some slick spots on the roads early. However, we're heading up to a high temperature of 40 degrees, so those slick roads should be in fine shape by mid-morning. Then we have another chance of rain-snow mix in the evening, but I don't think we're going to see any additional accumulation after tomorrow morning. The heavier totals are going to be down on the Palouse, particularly on the Idaho Palouse.
Okay. Pretty warm temperatures, though, for the rest of the week, really.
When it is slick, though, just be careful out there. I slid a little bit the other day.
All right, thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you tonight.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local.